Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Capital. And we're going to check out some urban farming here. And under video surveillance, this is fairly new. Recovery Park Farms. And here is an email address for info. And we'll check out the headquarters on Shane Street here in just a bit. But this may be the first year of planting. But unfortunately, it's in the shadows of the waste incinerator. And there's a blues festival. I'm going to get back to this. St. Aubin and Frederick. Nice blues jam that happens every Sunday afternoon, like from 3 to 9. At dusk is quitting time. Okay, environmentally verified. So yeah, this was a nice operation. This was ballyhooed and talked about and so forth, and it looks like they're doing fairly well here. And they might be able to grow year-round. That might be something they got going here. Okay, well, nearby, there's certainly, there's room for improvement all over the place, and Shane Street certainly needed it. Again, that waste incinerator, that's got to go. That's got no place in the city. And especially if you got products, farming products, you don't want those heavy metal particulates to be floating over the neighborhood. Mercury and lead, zinc, just a lot of that stuff. People forget to recycle their little batteries and stuff, and so when that stuff gets incinerated, it goes up, portions, particulates, milligrams or whatever, float into the air, and then they fall down eventually. Nobody needs any of that. Not in a city like Detroit. So time to figure out that red tape and get it out of here. And then you'll see property values jump up incredibly in this neighborhood. The whole east side certainly is affected by that waste incinerator, but Eastern Market would improve a little bit. Depending on the way the wind blows, they have effects where they complain in Midtown. So all in all, it's not a good thing for the whole city. And again, it's based on which way the wind is blowing, so take your chances that way. They have public transit here. I'm doing a little exploring. But yeah, this was a corner place here. And certainly things will have to be torn down. And there's a lot of work that's involved in doing all that, but certainly areas that could be highlighted for redevelopment, those would take priority. This area is not too high priority. But it's interesting the way the urban planning takes effect. And so these guys, Recovery Park Farms, what a cool building they are in. There's a phone number there also. And they have housing. They're involved with a lot of organizations. Yeah, so it's all... You'd have to be a good speed reader to get all this stuff. Let's see, includes 60 acres. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. You have to start with something and so forth, and things will start happening. Okay, well, I'm going to backtrack here to the music festival. So there's your date. This was Sunday, July 16th. Well, first, the Raven Lounge. If you like blues, you've probably stopped there once or twice. Here, like an old bank building, but then storefront churches and the like. Focus on the D. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. And then, well, I got it up north. I got one of these things for the state of Michigan. You see a lot of these stickers, but new and improved. They have the little heart from where you're kind of located. All right. I'm more like into the urban scene and urban planning. So DET.com. And, yeah, the website tells you what channels, what time, what date, the important stuff. So if you have Comcast and maybe AT&T or DirecTV, I'm not sure how that works. Okay, up on a hill. So this area is getting transformed, and part of it is that farming kind of a deal. And so with these little hills, now you get a vantage point where you can kind of look around, but there's still a lot of green space. Look at all the cars here, though. This is like a big tailgate party. But Free Blues, they pass the hat around, but basically, pays for the musician's time, the upkeep and the like, and keeping the city happy. Well, down yonder, under the tree, I got a generator here, makes a lot of noise.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting till the evening comes. I'm watching the ships roll in, and then I'm watching them away again. Lord, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I have nothing to live for. Looks like nothing's gonna come my way. Lord, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this love. Right about now, Jackie C. Break it down, y'all. Break it down. Jackie C. Jackie C. Come on to the stage. Jackie C. Jackie C. Jackie C. Jackie.
Blues Artist of the Year, he gonna be the one to take the crown. Of every I'm at the Raven, but I was also wanted to advertise for the No Better Blues show. If y'all didn't know, it's Sunday, Sunday, July the 30th for the blues. The R&B is
cooking good. And she's cook. Like it. All right, I got a special request, but I'm not gonna leave. You request that? All right.
Remember that blues bar on Grand River? Did you ever go to that motherfucker with me? Oh, Lord. You ain't never go to that thing? That motherfucker's like a hole in the wall. Hold that down. That motherfucker like a hole in the wall. That motherfucker used to be right out there. Go to that
Boy, if something was going to go down, I was in the right spot. I'm going to do a little exploring here. I've been around these parts before. I've attended a few of those blues jams on Sundays, so kind of know the neighborhood a little bit, but just on any given day. Like, well, they need to get that smokestack out of there. It's the incinerator, so that gives you your bearings. This is an interesting smokestack. I don't know if that can be preserved. It's like the powerhouse there. And this building pretty much gutted. But whether there's a reuse, I thought that was a soccer ball, but that thing was heavy. I don't know what that was. It wasn't a bowling ball. Yeah, art is everywhere. Back then, they had these concrete supports. They were meant to hold stuff. But it's crumbling now, so... Anyways, the area kind of around here, though, was might be part of that proposed jail site. I do believe it is. So, yeah, the land probably around here was cheap. Anything's kind of cheap where the incinerator is. But if they close the incinerator, watch what happens to property values. So... gotta push the mayor and the city council, someone with more than half a brain, to figure out the red tape, because they say it's pretty extensive. It might take a dream team of lawyers to sift who's got to get paid off, who gets this amount of money, that amount of money. Yeah, everybody's gonna shoot for the moon, but we have to look from a citizen perspective and say, yeah, no, this incinerator's got to go. But then where do you put it? Well, I would almost say Southwest Detroit wouldn't be a bad area because there's a lot of that activity already. It's bad, but yeah. Of course, everybody's not in my backyard and so forth, but anyways, that's looking back at the Blues Festival. I should be calling the action here. It looks like it's leaning a little bit, the smokestack, so... but yeah, they're a huge chunk of land. I wouldn't doubt... apparently they seem to like Dan Gilbert's proposal for the failed jail site, and they're going to make that into a soccer-type stadium, concert venue, cool place. And then they would move the courts, part of the court system and the jail and whatnot. So... we'll see, but here's your view looking back to downtown Ford Field. Just kind of a quick overview. The Fisher Building there. And I think I've been on top of that water tower, but not today. I'm not going to do that. Nice big church there. These bottle rockets, they're prevalent in the downtown. Again, the incinerator, so that's kind of like white trash kind of a place, or a black hole that needs, yeah, really politically ranting about that, ain't I? But yeah, if you're into the urban planning, everything has its place, and certainly, yeah, you have to stay positive. But things are turning around, most definitely, in this city. There's certainly that vibe effect. This is a cute little building here. Yeah, people, I think, are getting a little creative, a little energetic, thinking about, that's a great bottle rocket, repurposing land. So it might not have been its original intent, but now you could like get a building and say, hey, I could live here, work here, have a lot or two nearby, and do some things that I'd like to do, have a little space in the city. People always used to go to the country so they'd have a little more room, but yeah, you can retrofit so many places in Detroit. You got to be up on demolition cost. But everything kind of reaches a price point where it's doable. Okay, I got to do a little cross country here through the weeds here, but I'm going to try to make it to the rail line. Here's that building again, Valvoline Oil Company. Yeah. Some buildings, they're like people. They got style, classy. Yeah, back to the bikes, back to the music.
This is Detroit. It ain't no, we don't play that. Can I get some? Hey, man, on that.
Lady Car,
It's too long. Want to come on, baby? Want to come on home? You see about me? About me, come on, see about me. 'Cause I keep on telling you, I can't do without you. Without you, no, I don't have to do. So long, you know it's wrong. So long, y'all know it's wrong. So long. Hey, thank you, Lady K. Oh, she clear. Thank you.
Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just wanna tell you
All right, under I-75. God, I got to worry about copyright violations now if I have music on for too long. So, anyways. Just a few scenes here of some more graffiti action.
Hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend. Let's get together on Monday for the Retro Lunch. That's classic alternative songs from the 80s, the lost 90s. It kicks off at 12 noon and at 12:40. I'm going to reopen the River Ticket window. How would you like passes to Mopop? Well, I could hook you up if you're caller 25, but that's all happening on Monday, so let's get together.
All right, relax, it says. Artists are starting to get creative and have some fun, and this a nightclub. German dude was supposed to make that into a nightclub, an old GM truck plant. The Paquette plant. This is historic here. You see the marker out front? Yeah, it was a good thing this was preserved. Now, if Ford could maybe preserve the Highland Park plant, that would be something for them to do, put it on their bucket list. That has some historical significance. In fact, it has one of these placards in front of there, right on Woodward Avenue, Main Street, Detroit. One of these days, and it's going to happen someday in my lifetime, but the Dream Cruise will officially be extended, an olive branch or a peace offering, but it'll extend it to the city of Detroit and go all the way down to the Black Fist and then loop around back and head to Pontiac. But yeah, how you could not have a Dream Cruise and not think that it would include Detroit. I can't envision that. It's going to happen in my lifetime. Here, the Q Line. This is nice. A nice addition. And by all accounts, well received, which is great. Because expansion will be inevitable. Well, if I can't remember the song, I can look at this screen here and it'll tell you, which is nice.
Yeah, you may have all you want, baby, but I got something you need.
Okay, then a nice evening of rest. not sure what let's see, July 18th.
Intellectual, cynical. There are times when all the words are speak. Questions run deep. Such a sin.
Yeah, Supertramp. What a classic tune. That reminds me of my college days. But, yeah, this was a Tuesday night. I'm not sure. I don't keep good track of everything that I videotape, but we're going to get into another event here shortly.
A liberal?
Tinky, yeah. Oh, you need the sax. Sax always works. It's kind of like cowbell. All right. Well, the moon here, and it's going to play an important role in this solar eclipse. August 21st. Mark your calendar. All right. What do we got going here? Going east on M5. So I'm on Grand River, heading downtown. Oh, the ivy there is getting out of hand. All right, Grand River and Avery. Gas price is $2.49 regular cash, so it's a little higher last month. But here, a decent home. But then I didn't like seeing this, a dumpster. So then I looked at this. Okay, they're tearing this building down, and which probably is what should happen. But the you can see this wall is ready to collapse. This is what I wanted to capture before it was totally gone. Is this cool mural. It's like a white knight on a white horse jumping through a tire. He might be a black knight, you don't know, but a knight nonetheless. Got that mask thing on. But the Renaissance Festival, they have stuff like this, and then the big pole thing, I guess, that's sharp at the end, so you can pierce through armor. But yeah, look at the tire. It's kind of hard to read all that ghost ad type stuff, but advertising I find kind of fascinating, how they try to market it, what words they use, and so forth. Here's the front, or the area that fronts Grand River, 3820. And at the end here, they have a dog and cat hospital. So it's looks like this building is maintained quite well. They abut walls, but they don't share. So it's important, if they are doing the tear down, that they're gingerly work around that area. Not like they did at the UFO factory, which will be at the tail end of this program. I was able to check out Corktown. Yeah, this one, open door policy, or a rift thing, walk right in free. But yeah, compromised roofs, certainly. And yeah, I think it's all for the better that a building like this just gets torn down. And it's got frontage on Grand River. You clear away the debris, and then you're in a great location, right? It's an eyesore now, most definitely. and it would scare a lot of people. But you have to look beyond that. Like if you're an investor or see the possibilities, you got to figure in the demo costs, certainly. But, Grand River is going to be Main Street Detroit is Woodward Avenue, and that kind of divides us east-west kind of a thing. But if you were going to have a main street for the west side, it'd be Grand River. And likewise, a main street for the east side would be Gratiot. So those are the next two avenues that really we should start thinking out loud about how we redevelop and urban plan these main thoroughfares, these main spokes that come off of our great city. But yeah, that's all urban planning. For me, it probably sounds like a lot of psychobabble, but it's something that's certainly important and it affects everybody, including quality of life. And some of the fun stuff and excitement with Detroit is some of these buildings were vacant a few years ago, and now they've been repurposed. So that certainly is exciting. Here, this is a new park, Beacon Park. And then they had the food trucks, which always is a fan favorite. Then artwork. It's everywhere. There's no way around it. But yeah, this is a great addition, certainly. This new park, Beacon Park, and it was put together by DTE Energy. I would imagine they'll have several events, play out how they do it. But this was their opening weekend, so a lot of hubbub and the entertainment thing. They did a nice job, and of course, we got light shows. And then the Beacon. At first I didn't get it, but it was I'm not sure if this is lit up the whole time. But it's a huge floodlight. I'll take a peek at it later. It'd be the Beacon. Maybe if you're up in the sky, in a jet airplane, you could see it probably pretty good. Oh, this is a little jewel of a building. It was last used by Salvation Army, but the headquarters of DTE is right there. But then, look at this. They got a conservation certification, wildlife habitat. Yeah, look at this. This is classic. The eagle there. The Salvation Army. Blood and Fire in the middle there. Wow, Then the way you recycle now, you can energize Detroit. Well, that's reimagine. they're into urban planning too, and certainly here solar panels, trash compactors, save space. Maybe we don't need to do the incinerators anymore. We can use the landfills. This is a question that has to be talked about and discussed. Here, the history. This is always good, but a classic building, Art Deco style building. I mean, if you're into architecture, when I was a kid, I didn't give a hoot, but it was only just tall buildings you'd be fascinated with. But as time has gone by, it's like there can be some buildings that are really styling, and this is one of them. The use of geometric shapes, yeah. Okay, so they're trying to be environmentally friendly too, which is something we'll all have to do, despite a lot of denials saying that, climate change is nothing to worry about. Don't you worry your pretty little head over that. But the younger folk might say, well, hold on a second. Maybe this is something we need to address. All right, you can see the beacon back there. I kept getting curious. That's DTE Energy's logo, but yeah, you could, if it goes up into the heavens. Yeah, even probably UFOs could see that beam. All right, the Mogo is a bike, and this is nice. You see this certainly in a lot of cities, but Detroit is on board now. And I'm not sure the whole directions. I see $8, but I'm not. All right, we're going to check the time, the IRS building. Ooh, that's right when the hour hand and minute hand are right on top of each other. But yeah, that's pretty much, we're kind of synchronized. That's the city of Detroit flag. Good old USA, state of Michigan, and their DTE flag. Yeah, here the security guard says, oh yeah, they were a little touchy, so move along, but they have a nice headquarters here. And there's the beacon. I see how we got the name Beacon Park now. Okay, this, if you want to charge, now I don't know what it costs for a charge. It's not free, but in comparison to gas, how that works out.
Very simple, right? And you can add a little bit of food.
Oh yeah, I love detours. Oh yeah, I don't like planning things out. You go with the flow. Here, all different kind of stuff was going on. It was like the whole weekend kind of thing. So, salsa tacos. Barica, I think is the artist we're seeing. Yeah, look at this. I had to go through the bushes to get in there to get a closer look. Yeah, it was a grid of them. But, all right, some dancing. The Republic is one restaurant and bar on one end. Then the grand entrance, 1942 Grand River. Running with scissors, that does not sound like a good thing. Here, Parks and Recreation, this is a smaller because it's in that triangular acute angle. Yeah, if you're in a triangle, you want to, well, nothing's over 90 degrees. But yeah, a triangular building certainly changes your mindset. It's a different. It's not square, you know. So having those acute angles and so forth are neat. All right, the Michigan pedal thing. All right, Tiger Stadium. And then, well, this is how they did it back in the day when they got liquor over the Detroit River. Yeah, they scouted that all out. Nice lighting. They have an upper deck, a little curly Q stairs up there. I think the DJ used to work from up there. I don't think they do that anymore. All right. Woodward Avenue, I love this address, 12345, but I'm in the city of Highland Park, and there was a ton of cars and a lot of people in a park, so I had to stop, take a look. What's going on? Massachusetts and Woodward. Yeah. I just got here too late, though.
Show you how it goes. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Knock it, knock it, knock it, knock it. I'll show you that, show you that. I'll show you that, show you that. I'll show you that. Let me see, you do the kind. Walk it by yourself, now walk it by yourself. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left.
Where there's smoke, there's food. Yeah. Oh, she's jamming. She was feeling the groove. Yeah, I just missed the performance there. I don't know if there was another band. Usually around 11 they call it quits. But here near the municipal building, yeah, Highland Park, a small city enclave encapsulated by Detroit, except a small part with Hamtramck. But, yeah, this was their, like, city party, and it was well attended. Oh yeah, that's coming into focus now, the Stonehouse Bar. Yeah, they talked about a blues festival up here. So I said, yeah, I love the blues. I'm going to check this out. So they had this going down. And we'll catch a little more music here. You know, the Purple Gang used to have their hideout here. So how cool is a place like that? If it's good enough for the Purple Gang, it's good enough for me. Here they got horseshoes out back. But yeah, I think this was an all-day affair. I got here a little bit late. I love the architecture on Senior Place here. Oh, they have a nice porch. And it was a pleasant Saturday evening. This is the Michigan State Fair site. And wow, it's all locked up. And we haven't figured out what to do with this yet. There's some urban planning. Magic Johnson was supposed to have a development in here. Included some housing and whatnot. I haven't heard anything lately about it. But yeah, this certainly is a neighborhood that's ripe for development. Here, train action. A train kind of parallels Woodward. Oh yeah, they got bike lanes here. There's a lot of creative people out here. The people that do the theater bazaar type thing. They had bought a string of homes and have their own kind of enclave. I'm just going to make a look at all this empty. This was a school, I believe. They tore down this school and an empty field, so that's ripe for development. Backtracking back to the stone house. I'm going to have about 4 minutes left. I'm going to have to switch tapes here. But that's the way it was. Okay, stop. Gotta eject this. Maybe I can say thanks for watching. A lot of times I forget at the end of the show. It hits 1 minute mark and I haven't finished my thoughts. But yeah, thanks for watching if you are watching. Okay, press play. Okay, here we go. Oh, I had to do some business, take care of something, so I was on Michigan Avenue and Clippard, but kind of, it used to be a Polish enclave, now Mexican and even Arabic. Here, a local bar. That's a great neon sign. The street lights. Yeah, I'll have a bunch of quick shots here to round out the hour. All right, some moon action. And it's kind of a little bit of a red light district. There's adult entertainment here, Club Venus. What you can do with graffiti or neon. Sliver of the moon. Okay, gas prices a little bit lower now. This is at the neighborhood. Yeah, after a long night, they still have to cover that sub up. Duct tape. I figured it out. I'll show it in the next episode or so. How duct tape. So I'm the urban. Here's an extra $1, you get extra cheese and extra pepperoni. So this is the first look at one of these things. Oh yeah. And the guy owns the Tigers to boot. Who would have thunk? Okay, welcome to Detroit. Okay. Got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Okay, the train station. They have more prospects there, but this was interesting. Corktown, Elton Park. This was the first time I had seen the banners. But here, the UFO factory, it's right there in the middle. They're going to build this condo project around it, kind of like horseshoe it. The problem was it doesn't allow ingress-egress to get to the back of the bar action. But there is the website. But this was recently in the news. And I went in there. It used to be Hoot Robinson's, but I went in here. I love their logo. And they have hot dogs for the food. Nice glass block. Classic architecture. God, preserve that. But no, Suave and his people had a concrete mixer. And oops. Yeah, there's some debate as to how that could be not accidental. It seems, yeah, there's a lot of suspicion. But yeah, if that could stay there, it'd be cool because millennials like that kind of stuff. They like the oddities, the eccentricities, the only in Detroit kind of stuff. They're developing the Checker building. They could make that bar a plus. I stopped inside and they were playing these old science fiction movies like the Japanese, and they had the launch pads and the spacecraft and the silver suits and whatnot. But here, Brooks Park, I should be calling this. This is, if you hit it out of the park, so to speak, it could land on Brooks Lumber back in the day, but it would have to be quite a majestic home run to clear those light towers. But they would be out to right field. Folks, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll have to continue this. I got a backlog of videos, so sometime I'll get caught up. Good night.